then it's not forcible. They get
Okay, let's... Wait a minute. I was out of the room. Let's take a step back.
Oh, you walked into a room of raging women. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
I would love, Ashley and Bailey, I'd love to get you two's input on some of this as well.
Can we start over on this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, we just touched on it. So.
Okay, so what do we got?
Let's start with the...
Are we still recording?
Well, we just started recording.
Hi!
So, this is the predominantly feminine knowledge cast.
And
wow,
boy, have we got some topics today.
I am like severely outnumbered.
You can throw those jackets on the floor.
Then go underneath.
Okay, Stephen said since he couldn't make it today, he wanted me to get on Reddit, check a few things, throw out some stuff from Reddit.
Okay.
So
and here's what Steph finds on Reddit.
As I'm on there, I was like, oh, U.S. Congressman, rape victims' bodies shut down pregnancies automatically. No need for abortion. And I'm like,
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
Here's the title of the U.S. Congressman. Rape victims' bodies shut down pregnancies automatically. There's no need for abortion.
Shut down like they spontaneously abort?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Really?
Okay,
I've never,
Are we
I've
ready
never
for
heard
this?
of that happening
Yeah.
before.
Don't use the word abort.
Todd Aiken, a Tea Party
Tea Putty.
Tea Party Republican. Okay, this Republican asshole is running for the U.S. Senate. This is completely my opinion. Nobody else, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we got the disclaimer
Make your own
posted.
decisions.
We got everything, all the disclaimers posted on the website. If you don't like it, get the fuck over it.
Okay, Todd Aiken's Republican, now running for U.S. Senate from state of Missouri, which explains a lot, says that women's bodies know if they are legitimate rape victims and automatically can just shut down a resulting unwanted pregnancy. So there's no need to even discuss abortion in cases of rape.
Okay, real quick, let me chime in. How many forcible rape victims have had their children?
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Okay, hold on. Look, let me read the next statement. Asked about abortion in cases of rape, Republican Aiken responded, his technical, well-researched, obviously, statement. From what I understand from doctors, if it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
This from a guy who knows jack squat about the female body. I feel sorry for his fucking wife. I bet she's never had an
I hope
orgasm.
to God he doesn't have daughters.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't have
great.
any children whatsoever.
So he's clearly opposed to women's rights to choose. Well, yeah.
You know
Obviously.
what? Yeah, so his mother should have had an abortion.
It's a
Or
prime
swallowed.
example of somebody in a position of power who hates women.
I think that's a prerequisite for men being in power. It's like, do you hate women? Yes, you're in.
Except Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama
Is
basically
it?
calls all the shots.
Shit, this is why I haven't been elected as leader.
Republicans. If you're a Republican, that's a prerequisite to get in.
They hand you the application for the Republican Party, and the first question is, do you hate women? Well, no. Oh, I'm sorry, you're a Democrat. Bye.
Okay. Second question, what year is this? If you answer anything other than 1955, you're out.
You're done. I'm sorry, you can't.
Oh, this guy just gets better. I didn't read this the first time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, first of all, his claim about legitimate types of rape is not completely foreign to the current Congress, blah, blah. In 2011, he was forced to drop language from a bill that would have limited federal help to pay for an abortion only to victims of forcible rape. So if you're drugged
Sorry.
and somebody rapes you and you get pregnant, sorry, you can't get any help because you weren't forcibly raped.
Okay,
just
but see,
Well, your body's supposed to shut that down,
the
right?
Indiana State Constitution ratifies any form of rape, any form of sexual contact that the victim is either unwilling or unknowledgeable of.
I thought we were still allowed to choose in this country.
That's what I thought. Drugged and
You don't get freedom of choice in this country. Are you kidding? This is America.
Most people don't get that, a lot of people don't get that drugged or drunk does not mean consent.
Okay,
Exactly.
so here's another one. Nor is this Aiken's
Her past-
first time suggesting some types of rape are more worthy of protections than others.
Okay, here's some news flash for guys, especially drunken frat boys in college or any drunken guy. Just because she's passed out on the bed does not mean that you get to have sex with her. That is rape.
Even if she's naked, laid there spread eagle, that is not a welcome match.
No. That's
If
not
you're
her
making-
saying, come have sex with me.
If you're making out with a girl and you both get naked and then she says, no, I can't do this, and then you're like, no, I'm going to anyhow, it's still rape. No means no.
If you are less than an inch from insertion and she says no. If you are inserted and she says no, you stop. All contact stops. Or it's rape.
And same for vice versa.
Yeah.
Because a woman can rape or a boy, as we've seen with schools, because there's been young children that the teachers have been like, hey, I'm going to teach you something.
But that's molestation. That's
well,
different.
I'm not just talking about small children, though. I'm saying women can still rape men.
Yes, the reason it's far less reported is because it is far less likely.
Exactly. I'm just saying it can happen.
More than here, a nifty little biological fact. If a guy really is that adamant about not having sex, have you ever tried to push a rope uphill? It just don't happen.
But
I saw the wheels turning in.
But what she's saying though, some guys, you mess with them even if, okay, what was the movie? Michael Douglas, Fatal Attraction?
Oh, no.
He said no how many times? You stimulate a guy, depending on, most guys, you know, they're like, oh, hey, you know. They don't really have a lot of control over that.
But that also, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, the biology does take over. Just like there was back in the 70s, there were court cases. That's later been after the whole Kobe Bryant thing. That's been changed. Victims' rights have been added. But back in the day, they used to use as a defense for the rapists. They would get the women on stand and ask, "Did you have an orgasm?" If they answered yes, then the defense attorneys would go off saying, "Oh, well, you enjoyed it. It was consensual."
Actually, the person we were just talking about says he misspoke during an interview. He says, let's see, the conservative U.S. Republican Senate candidate quickly backed off comments that aired early Sunday in which he told an interview that a woman's body has ways, quote unquote, to prevent during rape, and that such pregnancies are, quote unquote, really rare. Let's see, it seems to me, first of all, from what I understand, that... Okay, hold on a second. Oh, okay. He said that he prefers punishment for rape to be the focus on the rapist, not attacking the children. He said that he misspoke during the interview, though the statement did not specifically say which points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In reviewing my off-the-cuff remarks, it's clear that I misspoke in this interview, and it does not reflect the deep empathy I hold for thousands of women who are raped and abused every year. Those who perpetrate these crimes are the lowest of the low in our society, and their victims have no stronger advocate in the Senate to help sure they have justice.
Obviously not.
That is a very wordy oh shit moment from his PR agent.
It's it's definitely not from him.
I got called out on my BS. Well, I can't stand my ground on what I believe
Backtrack,
in. So I
backtrack.
better,
Damage control!
Yeah. I just lost, all the women's votes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's like, oh shit, they can vote now, can't they?
His publicist was in the green room during this interview going, oh my god, you fucking retard!
Okay, so aside from Idiot Aiken there, we also have another lawmaker,
I wonder if he's related to Clay.
Senator Chuck Winder, however.
Hey, this is not a Chuck thing before anybody goes off on that.
So, no, that's obviously a Republican thing.
Don't judge a Chuck by its cover.
Idaho Republican lawmaker says he believes women don't know if they have been raped or if the sex they just had is part of normal marital relations.
So basically he's saying a husband can't rape his wife.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And a boyfriend can't rape his girlfriend. If you're in a relationship, you cannot be raped.
But he is sponsoring a version of a mandatory transvaginal ultrasound bill. If you go to a doctor, and you're like, hey, I've been raped, I need to make sure I'm not pregnant, they want to use a
it's
vaginal
the inserted device. Yeah,
and then
they've had that for years, but it's never been used in rape cases because it's an added violation to the victim.
Yes. So here, rape and this is his quote that he said on the Senate floor. Rape and incest let me use his exact terms. Rape and incest was used as a reason to oppose this. I would hope that when a woman goes into a physician with a rape issue, that physician will indeed ask her about perhaps her marriage. Was this pregnancy caused by normal relations in a marriage, or was it truly caused by a rape?
And I'm sorry, but if say me personally, not married, not in a relationship, if I went into a doctor and reported rape, and he asked that, I'd be like, well, I'm not married, so yeah, I was actually raped.
Question.
There goes your bailout.
Aside from his ridiculous wording, could he be meaning to be talking about time frames? Because not every sexual encounter in a marriage is going to be consensual, and not everyone is going to be a rape necessarily. So if you have 3 consensual sexual encounters and then 1 rape directly afterwards, who's to say which encounter actually did cause the pregnancy? Yeah. Therefore, they would be trying to weed out those who are just using it as a form of birth control because they don't have the abusive bastard's child now.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, either way, I'm just like...
why would you want... From that aspect, it almost makes sense, but it's still an extraordinarily insensitive thing to say.
Okay, if his ultrasound bill becomes law, a victim of rape or incest, or a woman with a medical emergency who is seeking an abortion must obtain an ultrasound first. And the state will provide a list of providers. Nearly every provider of free ultrasounds in Idaho is a crisis pregnancy center, which aims to dissuade women from having an abortion. They would also have to obtain from a doctor a second ultrasound, which would involve the invasive transvaginal procedure, if she is in her first trimester of pregnancy. Even if she averts her eyes from the ultrasound image and refuses to listen to the fetal heartbeat, she would have to hear the doctor describe the fetus in detail.
So basically,
because they're all pro-life.
So basically, let's give these victims, these victimized women, more guilt and more psychological, emotional torment to do something that they already, had to come to grips with doing in the first place. So let's just make it that much harder on them. Nice. Why the fuck is our government even concerned with this? I mean, seriously, what the fuck? Get over it. Butt the fuck out. A woman's body's her own goddamn business.
The world's already overpopulated.
Exactly.
To me, if you're pregnant, you know you can't handle it. You can't monetarily take care of it, or if you're raped, or whatever the reason. If you know you can't deal with it, why? It doesn't affect any other frickin' person in the world except for that woman. Okay, that's her choice.
Let's talk about socioeconomics for a second. You have an extraordinarily, poverty level individual, right, seeking an abortion because they just simply cannot take care of a child. Would it be better to go ahead, and if you believe the pro-life people and that life begins at the moment of conception, would it be better to kill them then or let them starve to death later?
Well, and how many
times... See, they don't give a fuck about any of that.
How many times do you see a horrible parent on the street? And I know everybody makes this comment. You see a horrible parent or you see a child being abused, and you look at that parent and think to yourself, they shouldn't have even had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And you know what?
And you know what? There are going to be 10 times that many cases if you don't let a woman make the choice to have an abortion if she's raped.
Yeah. Well, even if she's not raped, if a woman doesn't want to have a kid, that kid's life is going to be fucked.
Yeah. Because, you know what? Yeah, I know people are going to say adoption's an option, adoption's an option. I know so many parents that have applied for adoption and get denied. Good people. Mm-hmm. People with stable incomes and a great household and great backgrounds. And they get denied, and then these kids are shipped off to foster homes where the parents abuse them and sexually, mentally, and physically.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feed them.
They're just in it for the money.
Yeah, they're in it for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is not fair to a child.
No, and then what you're creating is the next crop of fucking sociopaths. Next crop of sociopaths, you got your serial killers, your world dominators, and your next batch of rapists. Because once they learn that they're a product of rape, maybe there's something genetic wrong with the father that caused them to be a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
That gets passed on to the kids. So now you got a whole new generation of rapists. Who's going to go create some more? Sorry.
But back to the socioeconomic standpoint, say a 17-year-old girl and her boyfriend, are not doing well, but she gives in, has sex, gets pregnant, they break up.
So
and then she's like...
poor girl to raise a child by herself.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just up and left her, and she's like, oh, but I really like this guy, but, whatever. So, rather than her have an abortion, okay, she's already, from a single mom, living in a poverty level. So now she's going to have a baby because she doesn't want to go through all this to have an abortion.
And
what kind of life is the baby going to have?
And I'm sorry.
That baby's going to starve to death.
Not all parents are going to be sympathetic like the ones you see on Teen Mom.
Yeah.
And let their pregnant child live with them.
Yeah, no.
9 times out of 10, that is not the case. Those kids get booted out on the street.
And these drunken frat boys who are getting these girls pregnant, you think they're really going to stick around?
Okay, here's...
9 times out of 10, they don't.
I read a quote on the internet the other day.
Even if they're in a serious relationship, sorry.
I read a quote on the internet the other day that explains it perfectly. We shouldn't have to teach our daughters not to go out at night because we shouldn't tell our daughters don't get raped. We should tell our sons not to rape.
I saw that too.
That's the lesson.
How to treat a woman.
And that's what it comes down to. There are far too many gentlemen in this world.
And I'm sorry.
And ladies, for that matter.
I'm sorry, but the fact that a woman gets raped and suddenly she has to have a child, that's like saying it's your fault. You shouldn't have gotten raped. Sorry about you.
You should have been on birth control.
You know what? Back in the day, they used to.
And then the boy gets off scot-free. Not only is he a rapist, but he doesn't have to be a father. He doesn't have to take care of that child. Because no rapist is going to step up and be a dad.
But no. Duh.
It's like admitting I did it.
Yeah, and if he did, what kind of dad would he be? Oh, it's okay. I raped your mom. You can go out and rape people. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's one thing I'm so adamant about. It just pisses me off that it's always the woman's fault.
Psychologically, no man wants to think that he's done anything wrong. These idiots have that mindset. Therefore, they feel they need to defend it, or they become bad people. This asshole...
Not every man's going to turn out to be a rapist, but unfortunately some of them are.
Well, this asshole has the potential to be a rapist. He probably, like I said, his poor wife... He wants
an excuse to do it.
His poor wife probably has never had an orgasm. She probably...
Or at least not by him.
Yeah. So she might be in love with Walter Fawcett. Anyway, he probably takes it from her. She probably has no rights in their home. Just like fucking Mitt Romney's wife was talking about all that bullshit, how women...
Oh, I have that pulled up.
Yeah, go ahead and start with
that one. Tell us about that.
Huh, Ann Romney.
Nice segue, huh?
Ann Romney. I don't know what world you're living in, but... Oh, honey.
1955.
It's not ours. But this is a direct quote from... at a meeting with the Moms for Mitt group in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ann Romney was asked about her opinion on equal pay for women. Here's her response. And this is a direct quote from the article.
Where's it?
Which is on freewoodpost.com, by the way. Why should women be paid equal to men? Men have been worked in the working world a lot longer and deserve to be paid at a higher rate. Heck, I'm a working mom and I'm not paid a dime. I depend on my husband to provide for me and my family, as should most women. And if the woman does work, she should be happy just to be out there in the working world and quit complaining that she's not making as much as her male counterparts. I mean, really. All this wanting to be equal nonsense is going to be detrimental to the future of women everywhere. Who's going to want to hire a woman, or for that matter, even marry a woman who thinks she's the same, if not better, than a man at any job? It's almost laughable. Come on now, ladies. Are you with me? Fuck no!
No!
I have no words.
Excuse me, Mrs. Romney. 1955 called. They want their beliefs
opinion
back.
Okay, her, nice little point about, men have been in the workforce longer. Yeah, because they wouldn't allow women to be in the workforce back in the day.
Okay. And
Well,
she
all
said
the way up
we're
until
going...
the Second World War.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were needed.
Well, then it became more industrial. Prior to that, it was jobs like the operator, librarian, school teacher, things
And they
like
weren't
that.
allowed to marry. School teachers weren't allowed to marry. Neither were librarians. You were an old maid.
Most married women weren't allowed to work, so they could be a librarian and get married. But once they got married, they had to quit their job.
Yeah. But okay, and
Girl.
she's saying that it's the husband's job to provide for the family.
What if there is no
Has
husband?
she noticed our economic standing at this point?
You can't
Jobs
make
are
it
hard
on.
to find.
You can't make it on one
make it
income.
on one income. And okay, what about us single women that don't, just
You don't
find
have
a-
that buff man to go take care
Yeah.
of
You gotta provide for yourself.
Go work in the steel mill.
We're not the
10
ones-
hours a day.
Who,
Those jobs are impossible to
you.
find.
See, that's the
anymore.
thing. You shouldn't be single.
We didn't go to school solely to find a man. We, oh my God, went to school for an education.
No.
Holy shit!
You're supposed to go to school and learn weaving and home ec.
Like
and
she did. Sewing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, why do you think she doesn't read this bullshit that she
and
keeps
how to
spitting out in her
cook a
diet
dinner
cards?
in a dress and heels.
I have another.
Without getting your hair
I have
messy.
another-
She's June Cleaver.
I have another article on Miss Romney here.
What the fuck did Ward do, by the way? Real quick, side note. What the fuck did Ward do
I
for
don't
a
know.
living?
Let's find out if he
I don't
had
know.
a job.
Somebody
Or when
research
He had a
Yeah.
job. He
Yeah.
came home every
I
day.
think he worked at some...
Well, he came
like
home every day, but he could have been smelling the liquor. But okay.
That was funny.
Yeah, so he came home after banging his secretary all day.
Somebody else asked that.
Okay, here's another article about Mrs. Romney. The 63-year-old mother of 5 and grandmother of 18, holy shit, can we see birth control? Has embraced the homemaker image.
She's got 62 siblings and like 84
let's see.
nieces and nephews.
On the campaign trail, she's been filmed baking pies and serving her grandmother's Welsh skillet cakes on the media bus, while Ann Romney is more Betty Crocker than Betty Ford.
What the fuck are skillet cakes? Is it like pancakes?
I don't know, probably.
Here, everybody have some fucking pancakes.
Fuck, I don't know, I'm a horrible woman, remember?
Oh yeah, you're too.
Okay.
Well, you are a librarian.
quick side note. Ward Cleaver is June's husband and father of Wally and Beaver. He is a farmer's son who grew. This is
He named
Wikipedia.
his youngest son after his favorite female body part.
Who grew up on a farm near Shaker Heights, a community in the vicinity of Mayfield. It's never stated Ward went to the same prep school as June, but it is established he dated June in high school, majored in philosophy at college. He was an engineer in the Seabees during World War II, and through the show's run, works in a white-collar office job, though the nature of his work is never specified.
Huh.
Oh, and another
Here's a government mole.
Another little side comment I want to make about this article about Ann Romney.
Your
Okay.
favorite person?
Well, it's about this comment's going to be about the Romneys in general. But Mitt mentions that Ann drives a couple of Cadillacs. She shows up to interviews in a $990 designer shirt, and they won't release their tax returns because they've given the public all they need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Rich fucking bastards.
Yeah.
I have a comment too. If she doesn't think women should be paid equally, what does she think about people of other races being paid?
Oh, I would hate to hear her opinion about that.
I would imagine they probably are extraordinarily racist.
I bet.
Because they're already proven that they're both extraordinarily sexist.
And what kills me is that she is perfectly happy to roll over and take this position.
Yeah, she's probably perfectly happy to roll over and take a lot of positions, you know?
I mean...
roll over and take it like a man.
I mean, if you truly want to stay home and be a homemaker, fine. My grandma did that. I mean, after she had kids, she wanted to stay home with her children.
But you don't have to go
My
that way.
my best friend is a homemaker right now. I mean, but she's also going to school. She's also furthering her education, and she is sure as hell not subordinate to her husband.
There's like there's a big difference between deciding you want to stay home and be a homemaker, or your husband deciding you want to stay home and be a homemaker.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
oh, and we were talking about oh crap, I just lost her name.
Yeah.
June?
No, we were talking about Leave It to Beaver, but I was thinking of somebody else. Hold on, I've got to look it up now.
Okay, well, I'm going to change the topic real quick here. Again, Stephen told me to look up Reddit, and there's another one. Truth Digger of the Week, Matt Fisher. This guy, his sister was killed in a car wreck. She, was going through a green light, somebody ran a red light, hit her, killed her. She was insured from Progressive, who promptly paid the family $25,000. Because, she was killed. Except her policy was for $100,000. Family went back to Progressive and said, hey, you owe us $75,000. We've got student loans to pay off. We've got all this stuff to do to take care of her, her stuff. And started doing some digging and found out that Progressive's lawyers helped defend the driver that killed his sister.
Are you serious?
And the only reason they finally paid was because in response to the media attention created from it. They finally did pay and the settlement, and they said the payment was for the company's failure to exercise good faith towards their insured. So,
yeah, it's a conflict of interest that they were representing the other party.
Okay, I found
that's just crazy.
I found what I was... Okay, we were talking about Leave It to Beaver and, women being homemakers, blah, 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 blah. And I know somebody's going to out there say, well, that's the woman's traditional role, blah, 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 blah. But that reminded me of the Donna Reed show. She was stereotypical Betty Crocker, the picture-perfect image of what a woman should be during that time. Little did people know that she was one of the executive producers of her own show, and she wrote a lot of the episodes. She wasn't just sitting back and going, okay, gentlemen, tell me what to do.
Well, it's like the chick that was in Ozzie and Harriet. Harriet.
Yeah.
Again, these are all depicted. These are all from the 50s. Okay, we are now well into the second decade of the new millennium. I mean, get with the times, people.
60 freaking years ago. I mean,
and as we said, I'm sorry, but in this economy, you can't live off of one income.
Hell no.
Not that Mitt
You
Romney
can,
would
but
know
you'll be
about
far
that.
below.
Oh, no.
You will be far below what our country considers poverty level.
Yeah.
You will not be living the life of the Cleavers and especially the Romneys. You won't be driving Cadillacs.
I
or
would
Down
love
South.
to see every one of these senators that's against, the welfare system and all this stuff to live on minimum wage for 1 year.
I would like to see them try to maintain that type of lifestyle where only the man works if he's working at, a factory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but
Not
most
like
of them,
GM. I mean, I'm not talking one of the little factories.
Like R&L,
Yeah. Or like
Nestle, or
Kit Welding or
Mosey's.
yeah,
And as
or
long
one of
as-
these
let me tell
smaller
you,
companies.
Newsflash, it is not that easy to get on at a factory anymore.
No, it ain't.
Because people are holding on to their jobs because they know there are no jobs out there. It's not, Oh, it just makes me so mad that
it's retarded, and
it
you
makes me
hear
so pissed off that we are struggling as it is, and then they're going to take away the things that help us barely get through. I mean, I'm 27, I'm single, and I haven't
But
had...
what about us, Melissa? Why? Why do you say you're single?
Well, I'm saying I'm single because I'm only living on my income. I mean, you two are lucky. You're still living at home. You're not trying to,
I was implying that we were in a relationship. That was my joke.
Okay. Well, Well, that's not recognized legally by all of the country.
Right.
Actually, hi. Turn around and say hi.
You know, I haven't had a full-time job since I graduated because there are no full-time jobs. Everything has been cut down to part-time because people can't afford to pay a full-time employee.
Well, they don't want to shell out the money for the benefits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even the companies that can afford
I
it.
haven't had health benefits since I turned 18. I can't remember the last time I went to my family physician. Okay, I went to the emergency room and they asked me who my family physician was. I didn't know he had retired. That's how long it had been. Because I can't afford to go to the doctor.
And you're lucky if you can even get somebody to accept you.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm like,
some pictures.
you know, by the time my checks come in, I pay my rent, and I'm lucky if I can get $50 worth of groceries, because $50 doesn't last very long in a grocery store anymore, let me tell you. And then I'm broke until my next paycheck. That's my life. And try feeding a family try supporting a family of 4 on that kind of income. Because that's what you're trying to tell them that they can do.
Well, hell, anymore you can't even support a family of 1 on that kind of income.
A year ago, you and I were both working full time, and we were still just you know, I mean, we were like, ooh, we've got a few extra dollars this week. We get to go see a movie. We get to go out. I mean, and that's with 2 people working full time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah.
They don't have money to support the economy.
Right?
I have a little fun, happy story. This poor little turtle.
It's not a Band-Aid.
He got ran over. His shell got cracked and broken. They repaired it, and with epoxy and some kind of mesh. But they put the Batman symbol on it, so he looks like a badass. That is just awesome.
Oh, that's cute.
It's adorable.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab my phone.
Batman turtle.
Okay.
Bat turtle.
Let me get it pulled up, but I do have... We need a lighthearted discussion here.
Yeah, we need something fun, happy now.
Hold on. Let me find it. Oh. Okay. Well, that's not the one I wanted. But eBay is banning the sale of, like, weird crap on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 10 crazy items you can no longer sell on eBay. And I believe this is from, well, if it'll ever load. I believe it's from Yahoo. Yeah, it's Yahoo. Like I said, the 10 craziest items you can't sell on eBay anymore. Sorry. But, I'm sorry, but it's fun to go and look, you know, what you can find on eBay. Okay. Number 1, partially used cosmetics, which I can understand. You could get some kind of funky infection from somebody's used cosmetics. Ew.
Yeah, anything with a biohazard. Socks, underwear.
Ew. Number 2, prison uniforms. That's awesome. How the hell are you reselling prison uniforms?
Why would...
I just got out of jail. I don't need this yellow orange jumpsuit anymore.
They keep those when
I know. I'm like, where are these coming from?
Oh, my God, really?
I know somebody, her nephew was in prison, and she was wearing his sweats because they were really comfortable, and I was just like...
I actually vaguely...
They have the prison thing down the leg. I'm like, really? You just gonna wear those around?
They're not supposed to leave the prison.
Yeah, how did...
Wow.
Let's steal from jail as I'm getting out.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal these pants from the jail. Fucking retards.
Okay, eyeglasses. Okay.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, yes. In most states now, you have to have a license to dispense prescription glasses or contacts.
Well, prescriptions, I can understand, but...
Now, sunglasses, no. But if they're reading glasses
like
or...
those ones that they sell at Walmart on, like, the little...
Walmart has a special license to sell those.
I didn't know you had to have a special license to sell those. Oh!
Because it's still dispensing a medication, just like you have to be registered with the DEA to sell over-the-counter medications.
I just figured those were just, you know, like... I mean, when you put those on, those are so crappy.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to whoever makes them,
but it's still considered an over-the-counter medication.
Oh, learn something new every day.
That's interesting.
Okay, this one kind of... Cave artifacts from federal land.
Okay.
I found this rock at Yosemite. Buy it.
When you go to, anytime you go to a federal park, just like most state parks, they have a sign up saying you cannot take anything from the property. If you find a fossil, if you find an arrowhead, if it's on state or federal land, you're not allowed to remove it. Yeah, that's a felony. That's theft of federal property.
Number 5, magic potions.
That's awesome.
Okay. I think
It gets better.
Wait, real quick. I think if you're selling magic potions, your problems go way deeper than eBay.
And if you're buying them, your problems go deeper than eBay.
Yeah.
Number 6, prayers. I didn't know you had to pay for a prayer now.
Well, you're obviously not Catholic.
Wait, isn't that how trick or treat started? Halloween.
Huh?
Isn't that how trick or treating started? They go around,
Hell, I don't know. What about Christmas caroling?
You need to pray for so and so by, giving so many cakes or whatever.
What? I thought it was Sam Hain. I thought it was a pagan thing. That's how Halloween
Before
started.
that.
We'll look that up later.
I thought we'd already discussed that, but, okay.
Lockpicks. That one I can understand.
Wait, no shit? Since it's a felony to own it?
YouTube used to have videos up of showing how to pick a lock. Yeah.
Yeah, let's show people how to commit a
And
felony.
they didn't take them down until Dateline ran a newsreel on it, and they were like, oh. Oops.
Oops.
And, let's see. Replica coins. They're officially banned from eBay. Huh. Okay, replica paper currency. Perfectly fine.
Just the coins.
Just the coins. Can't sell the coins. You can sell fake paper all day long if you want to. If I Did It by O.J. Simpson. Apparently you can't sell this book on eBay. You cannot sell O.J. Simpson's If I Did It book. Which I find kind of weird. It's a book. He's not saying he did do it. It's not a confession. It's not...
He's just saying, if I did it.
Huh.
But he did, so what if?
Yeah. Items related to violent felons. So, okay, wait a minute. That mean you can't sell an O.J. Simpson jersey or trading
He wasn't
card?
convicted of the murder, though.
What about
No,
a
he
DVD
wasn't.
of Jeffrey Dahmer's life?
No, but you can't sell his book.
Right, because that is allowing him to profit on that particular crime. That is stipulated to the wrongful death civil suit that was filed
someone was
after.
selling artwork by John Wayne Gacy. That's not related to his crime, but they still listed that as against the Items Related to Violent Felons Act.
The man's dead. Who's going to? Nobody's going to collect that money.
But they're still not allowed to sell it on eBay because I remember reading a story about it a few years ago.
Okay, well.
I'm not going to buy the O.J. Simpson book anyway, but I think it's kind of weird that they singled out that specific item.
Well, it's like some jackass. One of the people who went in to clean out Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment after he was convicted, after all the biohazard stuff was taken out and all that.
Like the cleaning company they sent or whatever.
Yeah, that was hired by the landlord. So once he got convicted, everything that was left in the apartment that wasn't claimed by family became the property of the landlord.
Yeah.
So he got all that shit cleaned out. The person who did that had all his kitchen utensils for sale. He had all of the appliances and all the kitchen utensils and all the crap from Dahmer's kitchen for sale for $1 million.
I know what these have been used for.
As much as I like
that was the point.
As much as I like Jeffrey Dahmer, that would definitely weird me out.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer? That weirds me
Because
out.
I was born 3 hours after he died.
So are you like the reincarnation of Jeffrey Dahmer?
Definitely
when
not.
When you look at me, do you get hungry?
No.
I mean, I cannot say does your mouth water because I have that effect on lots of women. What?
Okay, number 10. The number 10 item you cannot sell on eBay anymore. Psychic readings. Which you will be surprised there were plenty of...
How do you do an online psychic reading?
How about blueprints for a bomb? Can you sell that?
I'm pretty sure no.
Well, it's not listed.
It's not listed.
Well,
Maybe if you put a disclaimer, not guaranteed to work.
Okay, but it's funny because the author in the opening paragraph, he goes, "You may think you could buy anything on eBay, and if you're looking for a life-size Bigfoot statue or an entire European village, they can certainly cater to your needs." I wonder if they have a list.
Yeah, no, not with the...
I'm going to try to find a list of, like, everything you cannot sell on eBay. Because I'm curious now.
Okay, so I found another one. They're doing studies on the effects of maternal fasting during Ramadan on birth in adults. Basically, if you starve yourself for that month, for this holy Islamic holy month of Ramadan, yeah, your child might not be normal.
Okay, here's my question. According to Islamic law, though, you're actually supposed... There are only certain times of the year that you're allowed to get pregnant. That's actually controlled and mandated in the... what is that thing? The Quran. They have laws on that, as I understand it.
I don't know. It just appears that Muslim babies born 9 months after Ramadan are far more likely to be disabled due to their mother's fasting in their first month.
Where do we go up here?
So, yeah.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Huh.
So Melissa and I both found the same article on this new spider.
Okay, before we get on that, I just have a really quick thing.
Okay.
They think they found Amelia Earhart's plane.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they did an exploration of the ocean floor near where they thought, where they lost contact.
Mm-hmm.
And it does show a field of man-made debris that they think are the remnants of her plane.
That's cool. I actually, when I was in my my GIS course at the university, we did a geographical study of her flight plan, and the actual path she took, which she severely deviated off course, and were able to, not really accurately, but within a couple of 100 miles, come up with a radius of where she may have landed. And there's several chains of islands. So theoretically, if she crashed near one of these chains of uninhabited islands, she could have lived, or at least lived a little while until she starved to death on those islands. That's if she didn't die in the crash, because her plane was not made for a water landing. Should have been, really.
And
should have been one of those boat bottom planes that.
Oh yeah, I did.
That could float. That would have been awesome.
I just found this random picture, something you don't see every day or ever. A bear riding a motorcycle on a tightrope with a guy hanging below.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, very interesting. Just one of those random things.
Okay,
Weird.
apparently I didn't bookmark it, but one of the articles I read about the Amelia Earhart search, it did show... Oh, I did. Ha! It's the actual video, but it does show the debris that they were looking at, it's on AOL if you want to look it up.
I'm sorry. It's a handicapped spot, and somebody obviously did not put the template down correctly to paint it.
What the hell?
Well, that's why at the library
What
where
kind
I
of
work...
disability is that? Head up your ass?
Yeah,
At the library where I work a couple years ago when they repainted our parking lot, apparently they misspelled library for library parking, and the guy couldn't understand why my boss wanted him to repaint it. He was like, really?
It's because it's a library.
He's like, we can't, no.
Well, it's like when they painted. There was a thing. They painted the school zone, like for on the street, misspelled school, and then the city refused to allot the funds to repaint it.
I'm like, do you know how that makes us look?
Well, they wanted the painting company, the people that they hired to do all that, to redo it, and they refused. They said they wouldn't do it without more money, and the city refused to pay them. So it stayed that way for like a year. It's like, nice!
Okay, Steph, are you going to talk about our spider?
I didn't read the whole article because you had it bookmarked, but it's a Trogloraptor.
Yeah, and
New spider they found in a cave in Oregon.
And these things can, with its legs outstretched, it measures up to 3 inches.
That's a big spider.
Yeah, it has hooks on its legs, and it also has poisonous glands, which, although there's no evidence, it's dangerous to humans. I don't want to get bit by one.
Yeah,
so is this some kind of hybrid, or is this a new species?
It's a new species they found.
Like previously undiscovered?
Yes. Which, honestly, the poisonous glands that I'm looking at in the picture, it honestly looks like
a scorpion tail.
Yeah, the end of a scorpion tail.
It's like creepy.
And I'm sorry, but I don't want to be the guinea pig when they find out if it is poisonous to humans.
They did build a fake cave in the lab, but the spiders refused to eat and died. So
they cannot be kept in
captivity.
But
it was the first new species they found since like 1870.
Mm-hmm.
A random Ashley.
Another unusual thing about the spiders is that it has 2 rows of teeth.
Interesting.
No, my picture. Come here, look at my picture.
No, there's a huge spider on the...
There's a ferret on mine. It's a pork chop. And that's how he sleeps.
That's how Baxter sleeps.
Okay, so...
Random Ashley has 3 ferrets, and I just found this cute picture of this ferret laying in a hammock with his head laying on the cage.
That's how
He's kind of just hanging there.
He's just like,
it's like on a shelf or something.
It's adorable.
Okay, so what Random Ashley was screaming about just a second ago, I pulled up a picture of the Trogloraptor on my screen, and my screen is, God, what size is it? 45 inches?
38, I think.
38?
I don't know, it's big.
I don't know. I have this huge-ass monitor on my desk.
It's a 2-foot freaking spider.
Yeah, this thing looks massive. So she walks in there, sees this giant spider on my screen, and she's freaked out. I'll take a quick shot of my desk so you kind of get the behind the scenes.
Here.
Oh my sweet goodness, I have a story.
It's a nasty spider.
Okay. Spider Ashley story.
Wait, Spider Ashley?
Well, no, but...
Random Ashley spider story? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright. We're in my pool, and we have a Spider-Man floaty ring. And I would say the inside is about 1.5 feet in diameter. So she sticks her leg in this thing in a really odd position, and then couldn't get out. So she's hanging on to the side of the pool. She's like, help! So I'm trying to help pull it off.
So Random Ashley got stuck in a pool floaty?
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
And then she notices 2 inches in front of her face is a spider on the side of the pool. Within 0.01 seconds, she is out of that floaty. But she managed to kick me in the head. And she managed to kick me in the head at the same time, though.
Okay, so this is actually very key information for her behavioral status. If at some point in time you find yourself in the zombie apocalypse, she's going to trip you. I just want you to know that.
I would never.
You say that, but you just proved it behaviorally. She will trip you.
I don't think she meant to kick me in the head.
She won't mean to trip you. So,
It'll just happen.
It will happen. You will be eaten, and she will get away.
I suppose that's okay.
I would not be okay with
It
that.
depends on the
Now,
circumstances.
see, it doesn't bother me because I run really freaking fast, and I can outrun either one of you, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't have to outrun them, just you.
I'm building up. I'm getting 4 miles a day jogging in and building up from there. So.
Okay, then I may have to trip you.
Oh.
If you get to a point to where you can outrun me, when you try to pass me, you're going down. If I have to, I'll shoot you in the knee.
Oh.
like on
Mitchell said the other day something like Mike, for you.
Mike?
Yeah. We had a conversation the other day. He ended up saying, well, when you and your friend are being chased by a bear, you don't have to outrun the bear, you just have to outrun your friend.
Yep, exactly.
Very true.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Okay.
This is how dinosaurs were made, huh?
Here's a little clip called Dinosaur Sex. It has 2 T-Rexes.
At it.
Okay, I was looking up the article. Huge dinosaur fossil found near Drumheller, Alberta.
So what the hell was the fossil? A penis?
They found a 4,460 pound Triceratops.
Yeah, okay. 12 feet long. Oh no,
65
12
million
long days. My bad.
Year-old fossil. It was poking up after, yeah. But then you scroll down and then you got this little picture that says dinosaur sex. Oh, that's 1 of 10.
Okay, these are artist renditions.
Well, obviously.
But they're freaking fantastic.
And of course, you know,
I was
rather than doggy style,
at.
we can now call it dinosaur. Dino style.
Dino style.
Because, yeah, they're all...
Sorry. My bad. Really?
Open the door, get
they're, yeah.
Walk the dinosaur.
Really?
That was pretty great.
Yes. Oh, Spider-Man versus Batman. Who would win in a fight?
Oh. As long as you're talking about a fight. Oh my god. We were just talking about dinosaurs, and then you pop out with Spider-Man versus Batman. It's like, really?
She said versus, not with.
Okay. Okay, now, back to the whole science. Ashley and Bailey, this is something may interest you if you'd like to join us.
Okay.
Sorry, they're so random they keep leaving.
We'll play with ponies.
There is a new, well, not new development in the scientific world. Common parasite that may trigger suicide attempts.
Oh.
It's inflammation from the T. gondii that produces brain-damaging metabolites.
Okay.
So this is like a very common...
10 to 20% of people in the U.S. have it in their bodies.
Oh.
It's Toxoplasma gondii, or T. gondii.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how I would pronounce it. Okay, but, let's see. The parasite appears to cause inflammation over time, which produces harmful metabolites that can damage brain cells. Previous research has found signs of inflammation in the brains of suicide victims and people battling depression. So, yeah.
That's really weird.
Okay.
If you are positive, if you test positive for this parasite, you are 7 times more likely to attempt suicide. So, how do you get this parasite, you may ask?
From cats.
No, somebody's supposed to ask.
Oh, so how do you get this parasite? How do I get one of those?
That sounds like fun. How much does it cost?
It can be yours for $9.95, and if you act now, we'll give you a second set free.
Okay, so
Here, it's okay. Any member of the
Cash
cat
only.
family
No credit.
transmitted to humans primarily through ingesting water, food contaminated with the eggs of the parasite, since the parasite can be present in other mammals as well, through consuming undercooked raw meat or food.
good thing.
Does that say suicide is a major health problem?
I was going to say that.
Well,
Yeah.
Suicide is bad for your health.
Yeah, you think?
It's kind of the end of it.
If suicide occurs every 14 minutes in the
That's
United
sad.
States.
That's honestly less than I would expect. Whoops. Sorry.
Okay, if we can identify people infected with this parasite, it can help predict who is at a higher risk. So yeah, very nasty, parasite that was previously thought to be non-harmful.
Lovely. So, well, then again, the brain is so intricate and so just complex. It's hard to say, I mean, you can go to chaos theory with this. How minute a change can you make without having a vast outcome? You know what I'm saying? You change one neuron.
That was great. Just see this.
You change one neuron in the corpus callosum, and you could vastly change the yikes. Vastly change the behavior. Huh?
The research they're doing indicates that the reduction in the brain's serotonin, which is what causes depression, could be a symptom rather than the root cause of depression.
Well, serotonin